Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 Fortnite tips that you probably didn't know. You may know some of these tips, but it's really unlikely that you know all of them, and they're pretty much all unrelated, so make sure you watch the entire video so that you can learn as much as possible from this video. If you do learn something useful, please remember to drop a like and subscribe if you would like to see more, and if you want to support me further, remember to use code evolvejake in the Fortnite item shop. Also, let me know in the comment section below which tip you found most useful. This first tip is going to help you out a lot in those situations where you and an opponent both land on the same chest and you're 50-50ing the chest. But if you do what I say, it's going to be a lot more than a 50-50 in your favor. It's going to be more like a 70-30 or 80-20. Like, I get the gun most of the time. And the tip is that the loot always comes out on the right side of the chest. So just look on the right side of the chest to pick it up. Oftentimes, just standing behind the person who picks it up, or standing behind the person who opens the chest and just pre-aiming the right side of the chest and spamming your pickup button will allow you to get the weapon first every time, pretty much. Like, this is pretty much what I do. I look on the right side of the chest, I spam tap X, which is my pickup button, until they open the chest, and I get the gun right away, and then I kill them. If you do have to open the chest, like sometimes you get people who are smart and they won't open it, and then you guys are both basically playing chicken with the chest, I would suggest having tap to search on. That way you can just spam the tap button or spam the interact button on the chest and then quickly slide over to the weapon. If you don't have tap to search on, you have to hold search the entire time you're trying to open the chest and then get perfect timing on when you swipe to the right and then start spamming pickup. If you have tap to search, you could just be tapping the entire time, and I feel like it works out a little bit better for those situations. Just seems a little bit faster and more consistent to me when I have tap to search on. I've talked about this on stream before, and people have often said how it only works against noobs or whatever, and I don't really understand that mentality. And then I even recently ran into Nate Hill in a game and was in this exact situation. I didn't know it was him, but I let him open the chest, I grabbed the gun, and then I kill him because I 50-50 the chest properly. And I'll let that clip play on screen here. I don't know. I didn't really mind the powderiness of it, I guess would be the way to describe that. I thought it would be more effective. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just babies when it comes to things. Is that the actual Nate Hill? And it just basically shows that it doesn't only work on noobs. Nate Hill's a very experienced and a very, very good player, and it worked on him. It can work on anybody if they don't know you're there or they just are kind of in a rush and not really paying attention. This next tip is going to be around the RPG, and it's one of the most easy weapons to use in the game. Everyone knows that. It's like a really newbie weapon. Pretty much anybody can use it and get kills, but I'm going to tell you some ways that you can use the RPG and get kills on better players, because most good people are just going to put a wall up and then you're not going to hit them with the RPG. And this is actually something you'll see me do a lot if you watch my stream. And that is to shoot a rocket and then shoot the wall just as the rocket get there. That way the rocket goes through the wall and does damage to the player in their box. The trick with this is you want to get the wall one shot, really weak. Maybe even get multiple walls one shot, so you're kind of baiting them out on which wall you're going to break to get the RPG in. So you get the wall one shot, shoot the rocket, and then just before the rocket hits the wall, you shoot it, and then the rocket gets in and does damage. You want to wait as long as possible. You want, that's the timing. You want it to get just as the rocket's about to hit. You want the wall to break, because if you shoot it and then half a second later the RPG gets there, odds are that person is going to replace the wall and you're not going to get damage in on them. This actually works really, really, really good with the AUG, but any weapon can pretty much do this. You just have to have the wall weak and then shoot it one time as the RPG gets there. It can also be nice if you have your, get the wall weak, reload your AR, shoot the RPG, shoot the wall, and then just full spray on the person after the RPG gets in there, because it's going to break all the walls, and if you don't kill them, you can often finish them with that spray with 1 or 2 more AR shots, and people are often confused when that happens. So just get the wall weak, shoot the RPG, let the rocket get close, shoot the wall, RPG does splash damage, and then you get free damage and on people that you wouldn't get otherwise. And even if you don't kill them with this, you're just creating so much pressure and getting in so much damage without really exposing yourself or putting yourself at risk at all. Another thing you can do with the RPG, and this is actually something Wavy Jacob does a lot, you've probably heard about him winning cash cups, is RPG shotgun. Basically, shoot the RPG at an opponent's wall, and then the moment the RPG blows up the wall, you shoot your shotgun. This works really good with a spaz or a pump, but it can work with anything because you just get chip damage in on the person. even if you only hit them for 50 with your shotgun, odds are they're just going to build themselves up again and then try to heal. Like, they're not going to keep being aggressive on you after you just blew them up and hit them with a shotgun shot that they weren't expecting. So RPG wall, as soon as the RPG hits, you shoot your shotgun and then you get damage in on the opponent, and you can like rinse and repeat this over and over again to get kills on people without having to put yourself at risk. So that's like the great thing about both of those tips, is that you're like pretty safe while doing so, and you can get a lot of damage in on the opponents. The next thing I want to talk about is spamming crouch whenever you spray an AR or SMG in like close to medium range. I'm not really sure why this works. I don't know if it has to do with aim assist or just bloom in general, but I feel like my close to mid-range AR spray is like 70% more accurate when I spam crouch. I don't know why. Like, bloom is bloom. It's always random, but when I crouch spam, I always get really good and really consistent bloom. At long range, this isn't going to help too much, and you're better off just crouching. But in those close to medium range fights, just spam crouch like a madman, and you'll hit a lot more of your shots, it seems. And then also, it also makes you a harder target to hit, potentially. If they're going to be shooting back on you and your character model is spamming crouch, you're going to be hard for the opponents to hit. I also like to do this in shotgun fights. A lot of people expect you to jump, and when you spam crouch, it really, really throws off their aim. So take more advantage of crouch. I don't know if it affects bloom in odd ways or aim assist or whatever, but it definitely seems to help me in those close to medium range fights. And if you play on mouse and keyboard, I'm really, really eager to hear like if you find this helpful, because I've never played mouse and keyboard, so I don't know if this is an aim assist thing or if it's just bloom in general for some reason resets when you spam crouch. So that's it for that, and please let me know if you use mouse and keyboard if you find that helpful. This next one is really situational, but I think with the current state of Fortnite, this can actually be pretty helpful to a lot of people, and that is if you blow up a fishing spot, you can get a small fry. The reason why this is helpful is because lots of people carry explosives, like we just talked about with the RPG, and how good it is. I often have an RPG if I have the option to have one, but I often don't carry white heals in public matches. I usually just carry mini shields or big shields. So if Storm is really far away, sometimes I can be screwed, and there's no mobility in the game right now aside from boats. So if zone is far, odds are you're going to be taking a lot of Storm damage. And like I just said, I don't carry heals, but if I have an RPG or grenades and I keep my eye out for a fishing spot, I can get some small fry really easily. And this has saved me in a few situations where I had to run through the storm with no heals. Basically, if you find yourself running through the storm and you have explosives, keep your eye out for fishing spots, because you'll most likely be able to get some small fry, and they do like, what, 25 health, 15 health? They do a good amount of health immediately, so they're really good for healing in the storm, especially in a situation where you didn't have heals anyways and you were going to die to the storm. This can be that small thing that pushes you over the edge and keeps you alive. The final thing I want to talk about in this video is the hiding spots that were added in Chapter 2. Lots of people know about these, like the haystacks, the trash cans, the porta potties. But what a lot of people don't know is that you can use them to avoid fall damage. This is really situational, but depending on where you land, this can actually like help you a lot. It just kind of depends if there's landing or if there's hiding spots around where you land. For example, I like to land risky reels, and there is a haystack next to the big screen. So if I try to land on a gun there and somebody else beats me to the gun, I'll often just jump off the screen onto the haystack, and the person doesn't even know what happens. And then the haystack negates the fall damage, so I'm fine. And then I can just jump out in a little bit and then run to the chest that's in a bush. The same thing is actually true of the large bushes that happen around the map. And I feel like some people knew about the hiding spot one, but a lot of people did not know about the bush one. Those large bushes, if you jump off of something into that bush, you avoid fall damage. And this is really helpful because those huge bushes are all over the place. So if you're in a build fight that might be getting shot down, look for one of those bushes, and if you land in it, you can avoid fall damage completely. Not the small bushes that were on the old map, the large, huge bushes that like obscure your vision and actually hide you. If you land in those, it counts as a hiding spot, so you will not take any fall damage, and you will be able to survive. And a lot of times you'll confuse the crap out of people and be able to win a fight strictly because of that. So I hope you guys found this useful. Like I said before, if you found any of these tips helpful, comment down below. Talked about 50-50ing chests better, how to get more damage out of RPGs versus people who know how to play the game, spamming crouch and how much it can actually impact your AR bloom, exploding fishing spots to get small fry, and then finally using the hiding spots to avoid fall damage. So hope you found this helpful. Remember to drop a like. I'll see you guys another time. Thanks for watching. How much mats do you think this man has? Yikes. See, like right there, I didn't even know I was peeking, but yet I am. Like the same thing, but in reverse. Yikes. I wonder who that was. Man's was trying very hard.